Right, good evening. Welcome to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over the world. Back with this segment, the first of the week, fan comments with my co-host, and there's a familiar face. And I think it's probably the first time we've had 3 people now on fan comments, if memory serves me correct. But IG, welcome back onto Cannon Fodder TV. I think you're quickly becoming a channel favorite, along with James and Terry and Richard and everybody else. So welcome back on Cannon Fodder TV, IG.
Well, always a pleasure, and I hope to add a lot of information, spice, and what Cannon Fodder fans deserve to view on this platform. I hope I will do justice to the opportunity that you've given me.
Fantastic. And my regular co-host on Fan Comments every Monday at 5:30 p.m. UK time is Richard from Arsenal TV. Richard.
Yeah, good evening now, and good evening or good morning wherever you are, IG. And yeah, thank you to everyone that's watching as well. So yeah.
Yeah, before we came live, there was actually just we've heard some breaking news that we might talk about towards the end of the fan comments, but I won't be talking about it, but I think Richard might be talking about it along with IG. I'm just gonna sit back and just relax and let them get on with it. No. All right. So those of you who are new and just watching Cannon Fodder TV for the first time, if you can subscribe, share, and like on all platforms. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. This segment will be downloaded a little bit later on in the evening. I'm also on Periscope as well. So make sure you do your duty and subscribe not only to Cannon Fodder TV but also to the higher octane channel, which is IG, aka Indian GOONER. Make sure you subscribe. Also to Arsenal TV. You've been warned. We know where you live. All right. Who wanted to go first?
Oh, I can go first if you want, Al. I don't mind.
Yes, I think Richard should.
Okay, this comment comes from Tony Henry, and I think he was referring to the video you said about Unai Emery. It might have been a fan comment, so I'm not sure which one it was. But he said, afraid to play attacking team just encourages the opposition. The club are just trying to get to the knockout rounds of the Europa League. Top 4 is getting further away as each games go by. Big clubs move quickly. Lampard has no experience. Give Freddie a chance until the end of the season. Emery has a fully fit squad, but his tactics stink. Players can get a manager sacked, but can't explain what Emery is trying to do. Emery out.
Yeah, that was actually on fan comments, Richard. That was last week. I failed to pick up on that. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought Yeah,
it went into the spam box rather than into my inbox. But yeah, I mean that's old news. And what I would actually say, he's saying there to give Freddie a chance until the end of the season. Can we afford to give Freddie until the end of the season, IG?
Well, if you want all the Arsenal fans to start hating a club legend, yes. I think the problem is he's never had an experience with a senior team. So I think that would cost. I would not want anyone, not only Freddie Ljungberg, Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira. I mean, they've already started their senior careers. Thierry Henry with Monaco, you know what happened, and he's actually doing. He's going to have a new season in America now. So let's see. And with Nice, I think last season it was really good for Patrick Vieira. Sol Campbell is doing really well as well. So I think I would not want a club legend to come straight away without any experience to this club, because I think with Arsenal we expect us to win, even if we don't get the result with 3 points. We want us to show heart, and if the players don't do that, I don't want my the love that we have for the club legends to get scrutinized in any way. I just love them, and if I meet them sometime in my life, I'm just going to treat them with the same respect what they did. He was an invincible. And he's already getting those the Twitter hatred, that Freddie out, everything which is bogus. There are a certain set of fans who are doing that. I don't think so. Freddie deserves that, and I think he should be an assistant manager. I think he should go back to what he was. Just because it's too much of a big job for him right now. It's not that I don't see him manage Arsenal anytime sooner. I would love to, but right now I think you need someone who's structured, who needs to understand the board and definitely the management, and definitely it should not be Freddie.
Yeah.
Just to kind of extend the conversation about, you know, Freddie being the interim coach and maybe people wanting him to be the long-term coach. There has been some talk about the players refusing to play under Freddie Ljungberg. Can we really believe that the players so early in Freddie Ljungberg's, you know, managerial interim career, that the player power again, refusing to play under Freddie Ljungberg? Is there any truth in that, Richard?
Personally, I don't think there is any truth in it. I don't think there is. You know, obviously the players also have to give Freddie time for him to implement his, you know, structure, what he wants from them. But no, I don't think there is any truth in it at all. And going to what IG said about Freddie Ljungberg, like, you know, until the end of it, I just think at the moment that Arsenal is too big of a club for him at the moment. I think he's too far in his depth. You know, he's had no senior first team experience with any club, apart from the under 23s and being the academy, you know, a manager there. But nothing higher than that. There's been nothing higher than that. It's not like Mikel Arteta, where he's been the assistant manager for Man City. Even you look at Mikel Arteta as well. You know, I know that he's been linked with Arsenal, but you think about he's got no experience as well. I don't want Arsenal to make the same mistake what Man United done in giving Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the job straight away. I don't want that to happen, because then the fans will get onto not just his back, but they will also get onto the board's back as well.
Well, if I could come on that, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had his success with Molde. He was doing really great in the league, and I think he's having a very terrific run, because I think he got a good fullback. He got the fullback that even Mourinho asked for, Aaron Van Bissaka. He got his fullback. He got his centre back. He got Daniel James. And I've just read a piece of article, I think, which would make a very good piece of information for you guys. Unai Emery was denied 3 important transfers which he asked. That is Thomas Partey from Atletico Madrid in the midfield. He wanted an Arsenal move, but I think the finances did not let the club get him. He wanted Wilfried Zaha, but instead we got Nicolas Pepe, because I think we were too big of a club who could not spend 72 million straight away. I think Crystal Palace was valuing Zaha somewhere around 70 to 100 million, but we could not get Wilfried Zaha. And also Harry Maguire was on the radar of Unai Emery, which was, you know, we let Koscielny leave. We got David Luiz. We sent Saliba back, and Harry Maguire is what Unai Emery asked. I think it's coming from David Ornstein, so I might believe it. So I think if that is the case, I think the board is the problem, the management is the problem. And if you think if this is the budget that we are working on, why are we even trying to play in Europe? I think we should be fine in Championship as well.
Yeah. I totally agree. IG, do you want to go next?
I would love to, because I have comedy gold for you guys. So this is, I think, the video wherein I think Raz special. What is the segment called? Voice of Reason. Yes, Voice of Reason. I'm sorry. So this
IG, the voice of reason.
Oh, the voice of reason. And this is not I think this was the previous to the last one, and I had commented in that. The comment was, in the last video, gloves. This video, suit. You're having a way with clothes, Raz. To which Ralph actually replied, "Thank you, IG. I have to follow you more, as you and James always have an in-depth knowledge about our team. I have read in the papers that Freddie is talking to Leeds United manager about Eddie Nketiah. Do you have any updates to substantiate that?" To which I replied, "Eddie and Arsenal both are frustrated with his game time. It looks like Arsenal want to call him back. That's all it is, the update."
Yeah. I mean, if Freddie was to come back into Arsenal, would he be guaranteed minutes? Where would he fit into the plans? Where would he fit in? I can't see where he would fit in if Nketiah came into Arsenal. But if the reports are true about Aubameyang being interested, or his head's being turned in another direction, then maybe it could be Nketiah time. I don't know. I don't know. But if he was to come back to Arsenal, where would he fit in? Apart from being on the bench, I can't see it myself. I don't know. Hello? No one's saying anything?
I think Nketiah is a very good in going forward. I think in a two striker role is going to be a really good one. Also in centrally, I think Eddie Nketiah's finishing was really lethal towards the end of last season. And whatever game time that he's got in Leeds, he's been really superb to watch. Even Marcelo Bielsa wants him. But the biggest problem is the game time which Arsenal are seeking for. And also, I think this is actually a very old report. The recent report says that Arsenal want him to stay at Leeds United. And I think for now, I think Aubameyang may or may not leave in January, but I think he'll extend something towards summer because I think he wants to see at least he has some bit of hopes from our Europa League competition. I think even if we were reeling and if we are having relegation form in the Premier League, we know what Unai Emery faced last season in the Europa League. I think round of 32, we lost the first leg. We won back on the second leg. We faced Rennes afterwards. We lost away, and then at home we came back. I think we had ups and downs last season as well, but Europa League was our best chance to actually qualify for the Champions League. So that also could have made the case for sticking with Unai Emery at least till you've got a good replacement. But alas, we know what happened.
Yeah. I think it's my turn now, isn't it? My turn. And I've got one here from Arnav Ghosh, who's, again, a regular poster of comments on Canon 4 TV. And in his comment, he says, agree that Lundberg's team selections was very, very baffling. Tierney and Rob Holding will be on my team any day. I wouldn't pick Mustafi or Kolasinac on my first team. Personally, when I saw Freddie Lundberg's first team selection there, it looked very, very Emery-esque.
Oh.
Why is he playing those players that have failed Emery? Why is he still playing those players? Kolasinac, Socrates, Luiz. Why is he still playing those players? And it's not like he's just come in. He's landing on planet Arsenal. He's been with Emery's number 2 for how long? So he must know, and he must be able to see that these players, they're failing. They're failing Arsenal. They're just not good enough. But why is he playing those players?
Maybe he's probably thinking that he's probably thinking, well, I'm in charge. I'm now the head coach at the moment until they get a replacement in. I'm giving you a clean slate. That's basically what he's probably saying. But for me, I think that's even wrong. When I looked at that lineup, my first thought was, why is Tierney not playing? Because he is a lot better than Kolasinac. Even though Kolasinac didn't have a bad game against Brighton, I think it was. Was it either Brighton or Norwich? I think it was either one of them. Where he was actually quite well in getting forward. His defense wasn't too bad. But still, Tierney is better. It's his crossing that really overheads Kolasinac straight away. It's his crossing, because every time Kolasinac, even when Kolasinac crosses the ball, it's either going over the top and it's too long, or it's hitting the first man. Whereas Tierney, he's timing it every time he crosses the ball, he's picking up the man straight away, because he's already looking where the run is before he even gets to that bar line. So he knows how much power he needs to put on it, how much width he needs to put on it. And that's why it is baffling. It is baffling in the team selection. I'm just hoping that Freddie goes with a strong enough line tonight, because a win is a must. We can't let these players. They've got to fight. Because the last couple of games they haven't.
They're just not good enough. They're just not good enough.
Well, if I could answer to that, I think he's stuck with the players that he actually started with. Kieran Tierney had a shoulder injury. So he's nursing a silent shoulder injury. That's the reason why he did not start. Rob Holding is having a bruised knee, and I think that's what is there on the Arsenal's official injury list. Rob Holding could not continue and could not start any game in the Premier League. And I believe the way he has returned since the injury, I think he should play with the under-23s more, I believe, because I think the speed, the reaction time is so pathetic. So pathetic. I think How many times? How many times? It's not just one game. I think it's 3 or 4 games where whole of our defense line is sleeping and everyone is taking a quick free kick. Everyone is taking. I think the goal that Wolves scored, 1-1, that goal. Uh, I think who was caught napping? Holding. Holding was caught napping. He was there towards the right hand side, and nobody actually saw the run. And the same thing, the first goal I think scored Southampton. Danny Ings scored the first goal,
That's
where
right. Yeah.
everyone was sleeping.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
where is the awareness? And it's not just one player; it's everybody. You know what big clubs do? They remove all this, sell all those four, and get four new. That's what Manchester City did. Liverpool got 75% of their defense changed straight away. That's what you do. Bigger clubs do that. But I'm sorry, we've got a budget of a championship, so we'll be relegated, won't we? At least the budget is.
IG, dearie me. Personally, I think more than half the team needs to be shipped out.
Yeah.
I've been speaking to James throughout this whole week about at least 2 players for me should be first and second on the sheet. The first player should be Tierney. The second player should be Martinelli, just for his positivity. This boy will run until his guts are burning him. There's no other player that will do that. Tierney and Martinelli should be absolute starters, game in and game out. There's no players for me. I know Batman has saved us so many times, but for me, where is the urgency? There's no urgency. We're so easy. We're easy pickings. Easy pickings, which is why I'm very fearful for tonight. Very, very fearful. But nobody listens to me, IG. Nobody ever listens to me. Anyway, Richard, I think it's your turn.
Yep, I've got a comment here from Screenboy8, and he says, I feel like a broken supporter following a broken club. I don't know who or what to blame anymore.
And that's the problem, isn't it? It's a bigger picture than just, you know, trying to buy in the right players. Our buying policy is not good. No. We identify right players, but we don't buy them. When we do buy players, they're overinflated prices, and then when we sell them, we'll sell them at, you know, bottom basement prices. So it's a bigger problem than just trying to bring in the right players. But I don't know.
Do you know who does that kind of business? Championship clubs.
But the way Arsenal are at the minute, this is not the club that I fell in love with as a kid. This is not the same Arsenal anymore. Because I don't see no fight, I don't see no passion, and I don't see no balls from the players either. Because if you remember, even like when a long time ago when Tony Adams was captain, if you was wearing short sleeves, that's what you'd go out in.
Yeah.
Whereas now you're a captain at Arsenal now, and they're saying, right, we're going to go out short sleeve, but there's some players out there going out with long sleeves.
The chickens are coming home to roost. This is what happens when you don't invest enough at a football club like Arsenal. And like, I'm not sure any of you saw these talk last week. I had a slight heated debate with my brother. But at the end of the day, the Premier League does not lie. If we are in mid-table, it means that we are a mid-table team.
Yeah.
Arsenal are no longer, historically we're a big club, but right about now, IG, we are a mid-table team. Nothing more, nothing less. And if it is the fact that we get relegated, I don't want it to happen, but things have to get a lot worse before they can get better. That's the way that I see things.
Al, do you remember ages ago that I told you I said to you that I had a feeling years ago when Stan Kroenke came in that we'd fall out of top 4 and we'll fall out of Champions League, and it's come true. We can't even get top 10 at the minute.
It's not Emery's fault.
Forget top 10. Forget top 10. We can't even get a top European manager to come to Arsenal.
There you go. It speaks for itself, doesn't it?
And the worst part is, I'm listening to reports wherein we can't afford Brendan Rodgers. We can't afford is beyond £5 million. Can you believe that? I mean, we can't accept Mauricio Pochettino just because his salary, what he's asking is somewhere around nine million pounds, and we have afforded Unai Emery. We were happy to pay Unai Emery £4 million to get rid of him for the rest of the whole season because that's what the salary he was asking for. Marcelino will also ask the same amount of salary. Is budget the problem to get the best quality managers and players?
But is it a fact that we can't afford it, or we can afford it, but we don't want to pay it?
We can afford it, but the problem is the hands are tied of the management, and you know who ties the hands in this club, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think this sustainable model is going to die out. And I think this is what's holding us back. Is having a sustained model.
We have seen, I think people were fed up of Emery. We saw Emery out. People are already fed up of Lundberg. We saw Lundberg out. People are fed up of AFTV. We saw AFTV out. When is everybody going to talk about Kroenke out? When is it going to be, when are the empty stands? See, empty stands always make sense because that's what happened in Emery's last game. Emery was out. I think if you keep making sure that all Arsenal fans don't actually go and watch the games, I think that's the best thing when Kroenke will realize that, oh, I need to just let the club breathe now.
Yeah, but IG, the only thing is having empty seats for that Frankfurt game had nothing to do with Emery getting sacked. It was poor performances and poor results. That's what got Emery sacked.
I think the empty stands got the attention of the management and they pulled the plug on Emery. That was the high point. I mean, you want fans. You play. You as players, you as managers, you play for the fans. The fans. If you got no one to watch, I don't think so. Sports would exist.
Yeah, yeah. I think the optics, to see a so-called top club, a match being played in front of a half-filled stadium, it doesn't look good. It does not look good, and that's bad news for any owner because you want to. To be like the prize guy, having this golden laid egg, and people wanted to come and see the golden laid egg. But if people are seeing a half-filled stadium, the optics, it does not look good. It doesn't look good. But anyway, who's next? Is it you? IG, you're next, I think.
I think you had sent me two. You've read the mine one, so I think it's your turn now.
Oh, did I? I haven't got any more left. I think. Hang on a minute. 1 second.
Did you IG? Did you see Did you see the financial report that came out of our yearly annual report?
I did. We made some good amount of losses, didn't we?
Yeah, and that proves it. If we're losing money, where is that money going to? It's clearly going to Stan Kroenke.
No, I think the losses that we are making is quite less compared to the previous years. That means we are improving. I think a year before that we made a profit, and I think the losses we've made somewhere around in player sales somewhere around 2014, 2015 we had made more losses. But this time I think the report is not that much bad. I think for Kroenke that's not a bigger deal. But the problem is that I think he's balancing out. I think the way we've done business in this transfer window, selling Iwobi, I think we made some good amount of money. So I think the next year, until unless we make sure we don't pay much to Arsenal, I think we're not going to make a statement. But I think next year they are expecting a profit.
Yeah, but then in the players that we're going to be looking at in January, that's if we're going to buy a new one. Who's going to come in the position that we're in? No one is going to come.
Chris Smalling. Yeah, he's linked. 18 million.
But then saying that, Chris Smalling has been playing pretty well actually.
Yeah, because he's got the league, which actually he's got the best league for his pace. He went to Syria, the slowest league of the whole world, compared to France. Also, he went there and he saw that, oh my God, the strikers are not quick. I mean, Fabio Quagliarella is 38 years old and he's running against him. You don't think so? Chris Smalling can reach him? And we all know what Chris Smalling. You know what happened? See, the bigger clubs are linked with 80 million, 90 million pound defenders. What about Arsenal? They're linked to Chris Smalling. Championship coming.
Like I said, we're mid-table for a reason because we are a mid-table team. We're not a top 4 team. We're not in a relegation battle just yet. The Premier League, it does not lie. It is what it is. Yeah, you're right, IG. I'm next. And this I'll give this last chat to Mube GOONER if he's watching. He says, and this he's responding to my brother's voice of reason. He says, my guy is showing Freddie how to wear a suit. Freddie wears one. Tonight we're crediting Raz for it. A good video, my G. And then my brother responds by saying, yo, Mube GOONER, sorry for the late response. Appreciate the love, brother man. Just hope for a win to settle the team. Also, did you hear about him approaching Leeds United manager about Eddie Nketiah, blah, 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 blah. The voice of reason. Anyhow. Who's ever watching now? I've got IG, aka Indian GOONER. Also, Richard, my co-host on Fan Comments every Monday at 5:30. Wednesdays is the voice of reason, and Fridays is the easy talk. And we've been doing lots of bite sizes because people appear to like the small bite size rather than the feature length version. There's a match tonight, guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
That's what the players tell each other as well.
I'm sorry. Do you know what? Look, if we was in a better position, in a better run of form, I'll be a little bit more confident in going into this game. But I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Did you predict a draw? Didn't you, Richard?
No, I didn't. I predicted a West Ham win 2-1.
Oh, did you? Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. IG.
A spirited 3-2 win to West Ham.
Okay. Yeah.
But then again, if you look at West Ham's run of form at the moment, they're going in this with a little bit more confidence than us because they recently won 1-0 against Chelsea. They were in the same position as us, where they was losing, where they lost so many games. They was in the same position as us, but where they beat Chelsea 1-0 at Stamford Bridge, and then they lost to Wolves. This is going to give them a little bit of more confidence than to what it is us. We haven't won in 2 months.
I think they won 3-1. Who won 3-1? Everton? I'm sorry, Everton. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was Everton. Yeah.
My mistake. Everton. My mistake. But Chelsea are in a very in a losing spree. So I just forgot about it.
Yeah. Arsenal, you see what you're doing to us, Arsenal? Oh, my goodness. Right, so let's get into the chat. If you've been happy enough to come to the chat, we've got Mube GOONER. He says, hello, family.
Hello, Mube.
And then he goes on to say, playing same players that let us down time and time again. Time to bin Socrates. And for real. It's not only Socrates, Mube. There's a bunch of them, including your guy.
There are other Greek gods as well, other than Socrates.
Yeah. Personally, I would probably keep hold of Socrates and get rid of David Luiz. I'll get
rid of both.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I would. I'll get rid of both.
Okay. And then he goes on to say, Chris Smalling is better than Socrates.
Yeah, in FIFA, right?
Do you know what? At the moment, in terms of the way Smalling's playing and the way Socrates is at the minute, I would actually sort of agree with Mube at the moment.
Well, if Socrates goes to Serie A next season, he will be Virgil van Dijk there. So what? You get Socrates back?
Nah, I'm sorry. I'll keep hold of Socrates.
I would keep hold. Then again, I would keep hold of Socrates until we get Saliba back.
Okay. And then he says, be positive, guys. 3-0 to the Arsenal. We are being positive.
Well, we're trying to.
We're trying to. But you've got to be realistic as well, haven't you, under the circumstances?
That's why, Al. That's why I've been going based off the performances that we've recently had and the way we've been playing. That's why I'm not confident at all in any of our games.
Yeah.
But as soon as that whistle goes, I'll back the manager, I'll back the players to get the win.
Yeah. Just a couple of tweets I kind of picked up on over the last couple of days. There's one here. I'm not going to mention who it's from, but he says, as Roger said, he has players with no egos. They all want to work hard. Arsenal are the total opposite. Lazy, overrated, uninterested, self-indulgent, and arrogant. And here's another one. Allegri was very impressive versus Spurs in the Champions League. And although he's not the most attack-minded tactical nous, reminds me of George Graham. Let's get back to winning ways first by being hard to beat before trying to be the great entertainers again. And then there's the talk about, Emery wanted to buy Maguire, and everything else there. Oh, Jeremy. It's sad times indeed. Do you guys want to say anything else before we end this segment of fan comments? IG, you want to say anything before we wrap it up?
I would really like to I would like to give a message for Cannon Fodder fans and to all the Arsenal fans who may or may not watch it someday. Well, I think we as Arsenal fans, I think we have a responsibility here. Freddie Lundberg is an interim manager. If you don't understand what interim is, please look out in the internet. Interim means a short-term manager. Okay, and if normally in a honeymoon period for a manager, like what Everton is actually, they got a very miraculous win against Chelsea. So you get certain times you get positive results, but for getting positive results, you need to understand that certain amount of players need to start believing in the manager, in the management, in the contract. They need to pay respect to the contract, and they need to start showing up for the club. And if they don't, make sure as fans, you in social media can criticize their performances, can do whatever you want, but please do not spread hatred. That's the first thing. And second thing is, get behind your club, and you got to be realistic. Whatever it is, at the end of the day, you need to understand that Freddie Lundberg is the club legend, and he will always be in our hearts. He's an invincible. Please don't take away the respect that he's achieved for working so hard for Arsenal for these many years. And he always has been a servant. He was asked to do this job. Okay, he was not pushed into it, or he didn't ask for it. He accepted it, and he's helping us. He's doing the job for us for now. And it's the management's problem that they did not get a replacement. It's like you are leaving a job before applying for a new one. I mean, you don't have somebody taking those reins.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe the interim manager can only manage for 12 weeks, I believe.
Yes, that's the time, and that's
12 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
True, and that's when the club management has to decide whether they are getting him being a permanent manager or getting a new one. So I think the club, the management, when it was under Gazidis, it was pathetic, and I think this management has to answer, and I think we need to get behind the management and the owners right now. Don't get behind Freddie Lundberg. And I know before the January transfer window, you can't do anything about the players. Just criticize the management and don't abuse, but just try to criticize the management and the owners for now.
Yeah. And Al, I would like to give a massive shout out to an ex-Arsenal player, which is Paul Davis. It's his birthday today.
Yeah.
Who was, I believe, a midfielder for Arsenal.
Homegrown as well.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Just a quick question actually for IG. You said about the players that they need to show up. Do you think the likes of Klopp or Pep Guardiola would have put up with these set of players?
No. Well, he was not happy with Joe Hart. He got Claudio Bravo. He saw Claudio Bravo was failing. He got Ederson. That's it. If you don't listen to the manager, you need someone who takes. Who has the backing of the management. Well, I think somewhere down the line, if the three players that Emery wanted, they all three together were costing somewhere around 200 million.
Yeah.
But except we paid somewhere around 30 to 40 million for two defenders and sent one back to loan. I think everything is really, really funny. And I think the problem is the management. Emery was the scapegoat, and the players are also equally to be blamed.
Yeah.
I don't think so where this club is going.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, just a couple more comments that just popped up in the chat. I recognise these people. 2-1 Arsenal. That's your mum, I believe.
Yeah.
Richard.
Yeah, she's getting 2-1 Arsenal, and my brother's getting 3-1.
3-1 Arsenal.
I'm glad some people are being positive about it.
Someone has to be.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, I'm gonna wrap up this another segment of fan comments on a Monday night. Well, actually, wherever you are in the world. But before I do, I want to say a big thank you to Richard, who's making his way to 1,000 subscribers. Once he reaches that landmark, he's going to be doing the Freddie Lundberg look in.
He's grown enough hair for that.
There you go. It just means, come on, guys, you need to go over there and subscribe to his channel. I'll leave the link once we're done with the fan comments. And also, I want to say a big thank you. The first appearance on fan comments in IG, aka Indian Gooner. A pleasure again, brother man.
Well, always a pleasure to be a part of it.
Fantastic. So you've been wondering, actually, who would like to do the outro?
I do it. If you've been watching who or what you've been watching, you have been watching Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over the world.